reign lasted about 6 days. Brie Bella's reign lasted a number of months. We've already seen that, so it's kind of deja vu if Brie Bella were to win this match. It's not so much deja vu if we see Naomi win the Divas Championship. I just think it's a little bit too soon because we haven't really seen Naomi wrestle all that much in the WWE on either editions of Raw, SmackDown, or even NXT. On NXT Season 3, I would have loved to have seen her actually wrestle more than what we had a chance to see her wrestle under the capacity of. I mean, she had a couple of tag team matches with Kelly Kelly as her partner. There was a 6-diva tag team match on NXT Season 3 where Kelly Kelly pretty much was the focal point of that match, but on NXT Season 3, having Kelly Kelly as Naomi's pro kind of gave the spotlight to Kelly Kelly more than it did Naomi, because shortly after Kelly Kelly worked with Naomi on NXT Season 3, she left the WWE, and I really wish we could have seen more work with Kelly Kelly and Naomi outside of NXT. So I think it's a little bit too soon for Naomi to win the Divas Championship. And when you look at it from the point of view of Natalya, again, deja vu, because Natalya's already been the Divas Champion. At least 2 of the 3 challengers in this match have previously been the Divas Champion. AJ has never previously won the Divas Championship. She's still enjoying the early part of her first reign as the Divas Champion. So to end her reign after so much hype and build up for AJ to win the Divas Championship a number of months, really we were waiting seemingly forever. The fans of AJ, I know, were seemingly waiting forever for AJ to win the Divas Championship. So to kill her reign early on would be kind of a disappointment to the fans of AJ. I would go as far to say that fans would riot if AJ were to lose the Divas Championship, because she's just been so fun to watch. She has this unpredictable switch that can be flipped at any given moment, and I think that her promoting Total Divas along with 3 members of the cast of Total Divas is long overdue. You would think that she would be helping promote the show within the first few weeks of its premiere. It's been a number of weeks since the show's premiere. It was one of the highest rated premieres for a reality television show to make out of any previous reality television show having anything to do with professional sports or even outside of it. So definitely AJ's involvement with this show has been long overdue, and I'm really excited to find out what she'll bring out of this show. I've been really high on AJ's success over the past number of months, and I've been really high on AJ's success pretty much for the last year. If you go back to my inaugural video distribution on my YouTube channel over AJ's career and the status of it, I said that AJ needed to either manage the World Champion or be the Divas Champion, and because AJ realized the Divas division needed her more than she actually needed the Divas division, she worked with a number of number 1 contenders for the WWE and World titles. She worked with a number of WWE and World Heavyweight Champions, so WWE listened to my plea, and now they're listening to the plea of the fact that AJ needs to wrestle more in the Divas division. This is the only thing left for AJ to do so early in her career, and she's one of the most rapidly ascending divas in the WWE. Now that could result in AJ leaving the business in a number of years because of doing everything so quickly. She's been Raw General Manager of Ballet, she's been a manager of a World Champion, she's been the Divas Champion, she's done everything so fast, and it's all happened over the period of 1 year. It could result 2 or 3 years from now for AJ walking out of the WWE, similar to how Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres did a number of months ago. Now there are rumors of even Kelly Kelly returning to the WWE, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So you have to have someone who can effectively promote the Divas division, and AJ really has the full package. She has the looks, the athletic ability. I've never seen anyone utilize that octopus. I know I've said this time and time again, and it might sound to some of our listeners on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube today that I'm repeating myself, but I've never seen anyone utilize that octopus, modifying the name of it, calling it the Black Widow, as effectively as what AJ has, both on NXT Season 3 prior to putting a name on it and prior to using it as a submission hold on Raw. When she finally perfected that hold, she changed the name of it, but I have never seen anyone use that hold as effectively as what AJ has, male or female, and I've been watching wrestling seemingly for years. So I think that right now no one really is in a position to take that championship off of AJ. If anything, they're just being put there as a challenge for AJ from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. And one of the cool things about AJ's title defenses are they're happening on pay-per-view, kind of like how the Intercontinental title is defended on pay-per-view and the WWE and World titles are always defended on pay-per-view as opposed to actual television. We get a scattered Intercontinental title match or a scattered Divas title match on television shows like Raw and SmackDown But the cool thing about the Divas division over the past year at least is we're getting pay-per-view matches for the Divas Championship more so than we are on television when it comes to Raw Super shows and tapings of Friday Night SmackDown. And I hope they continue with that kind of rhythm. Do I enjoy watching the Total Divas program every week on the E! Network? Yes, because it gets more fun to watch. We're seeing not only Divas being on the show, we're seeing WWE superstars like John Cena and Daniel Bryan, and the show really exposes a lot of backstage stuff when it comes to the WWE, both from a employee point of view and someone who gets time off from the WWE as well. There are things we find out from Total Divas that some of the WWE employees probably wish we wouldn't find out from the show, and there's a lot of intense moments from Total Divas from week to week with the WWE Divas competing for a position, and of course a lot of backstage meetings are looked at between the Divas and the WWE employees like Stephanie McMahon. There are a lot of intense moments when it comes to Total Divas and what the show takes a look at, so I do enjoy watching the show every week. I think there are a lot of low points of the show too. I think there is a lot of things exposed with the show, probably a little bit too much. I remember when WWE.com used to expose a lot of stuff when it came to personal lives of the WWE superstars, and Triple H was really frustrated over the fact that WWE.com was getting too personal when it came to backstage news that they would post on their website. And I think Total Divas is one of the first projects WWE have attempted that may expose a little bit too much when it comes to intense moments backstage that probably fans shouldn't find out about, but that's really what's contributing to the high ratings, so they're going to keep going with what's giving them the high ratings, and if it means exposing the personal lives of divas like Naomi and Natalya, why not go for it? And I do see AJ making a couple of appearances on Total Divas in the coming weeks, and probably she'll be a focal point of Season 2 or Season 3. Really looking forward to the cast of Total Divas changing up in Seasons 2 and Seasons 3, but for now, what's working for WWE is the exposure and 2 or 3 of the cast members of Total Divas who are really getting the show over, and it's a great way to introduce fans to newer divas like Ave Marie, who is so fun to watch on Total Divas, and she's going to be even more fun to watch as a valet on WWE television. There was an edition of Total Divas that I saw a couple of days ago where Ave Marie expressed an interest of being a valet for a talent like Fandango. She sees the Fandango dancers and she says to herself, I can do that. It's just I've never been given an opportunity to do it. Right now the exposure I'm getting is through Total Divas, and if you're following Ave Marie on Twitter and have joined her conversation on her Facebook page, you know she is promoting her career status and her involvement with the WWE a lot, despite being involved on WWE television. I really want to see her involved more on WWE television. If you can have Brie Bella and Nikki Bella all the time in competitive roles along with AJ, who is your current Divas champion, you can do the same for talents like Summer Rae and Ave Marie, and I think that she's going to be a huge part of Total Divas on episodes we have yet to see. If you've seen any editions of Total Divas and would like to contribute to feedback, you can do so by leaving us your comments at the bottom of this YouTube video, youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. You can tweet us your opinion with a creative hashtag on Twitter at JonathanClarke1, and you can get in on all the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/HW Entertainment, where, by the way, we have recently joined the conversation of the Total Divas reality show every Sunday on E! It runs for an hour, and the matches they are using on pay-per-views to promote this show have been very effective. We recently saw 2 Divas matches at the recent SummerSlam pay-per-view. The 26th annual SummerSlam saw a mixed tag team match where AJ, the current Divas champion, and Big E Langston, her bodyguard, took on his former friend Dolph Ziggler and former Divas champion Caitlyn, and AJ and Caitlyn's series of matches for that Divas Championship. I cannot give them enough credit. It was a great way of promoting the Divas division, and it's beyond me why divas like Caitlyn aren't featured or weren't considered as part of the cast, because her matches with AJ were absolutely incredible. I mean, they were pure wrestling from the get-go right to their conclusion, and the matches we have seen at recent pay-per-views like Payback and Money in the Bank really puts into perspective just how incredible the Divas division has become over the past number of years. Ever since the introduction of the Divas Championship, it's been so fun to watch the Divas division. I have been wishing they had gotten themselves out of that rat for a while, and they managed to do it, and now we're seeing more pure wrestling matches from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, and I think this is the right direction for the Divas division to be headed in. I am in approval of this fatal 4-way match happening at the Night of Champions pay-per-view after seeing an incredible match series between AJ and Caitlyn that happened at pay-per-views like Payback and Money in the Bank and a couple of editions of Raw and SmackDown, and I think this is a great way to promote both the entire Divas division and Total Divas every Sunday on the E! Network. If you haven't seen a episode of Total Divas, you are missing out on an incredible opportunity, just as you are missing out on an incredible opportunity to see pure wrestling in the Divas division for the first time in years every week on editions of the Raw Super Show and Friday Night SmackDown. Check it out as part of E's new fall lineup on the E! Network every Sunday. It's an hour-long reality show, and it exposes a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that probably shouldn't be exposed on television when it comes to reality television, but that's what's contributing to the high ratings for Total Divas. So if you ask me if I'm in approval of the exposure of all this stuff we're seeing every week on Total Divas, if you ask me if I'm in approval of WWE superstars along with divas making guest appearances on the show, yes, I'm in approval of the WWE superstars being a part of the cast. I'm in approval of divas who aren't a part of the original cast for Total Divas making appearances, like many divas who probably should be a part of the entire cast of Total Divas. I'm really in approval of that. What I'm not in approval of is how much is being exposed on the show. I mean, the personal lives of divas like Brie and Nikki probably shouldn't be exposed as much as they are. The relationships between both the Bella Twins and talents like John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I mean, yes, it'll give John Cena a chance to be on television after his surgery finishes up